Greetings, members one and all of the Salivation Nation. The silver market is looking for direction. Let's explore! You know, the irony of that title should not be unnoticed. And that is, the market is looking for direction, but silver itself provides the direction because it has proven itself over thousands of years for being a wealth preservation tool, for being currency, for being money. In reality, it is only in recent history that the silver stopped being used as a currency. But it is indeed money, I believe. I just refer to it as hibernating money. And I'm going to be referencing an article here from FX Empire that talks a little bit how the markets have been stagnant a bit lately. Silver just can't seem to catch a break here. Talking about some fundamentals and technical analysis to a degree here. They have been noisy during some trading sessions earlier in the week as we continued to struggle to see silver reach that $23 level. In fact, as of the recording of this video, silver is sitting right at $22.67 for the ask price. The ask price is something that is basically what is the foundation for premiums that you buy from bullion dealers. And the market is giving back so much of the gains on Friday that suggests there's a lot of selling pressure above. Furthermore, you should also pay attention to the fact that even though we had the jobs number throw the silver market up in the air, it sold off just as quickly. And a lot of these things are kind of baked in, I believe, and the overall effects they have in the market are something that is psychologically, appealing or unappealing, depending on how you look at it in terms of the price movement that we've been witnessing here. So the $22 level, of course, is an area that should pay a certain amount of attention to, as it's been supportive of a couple of times, despite the fact that we did see a pullback just below there for a while. In fact, I made a purchase during that time. I was pretty fortunate to be able to make a purchase of silver, which will be my largest silver unboxing this year, which is not saying much, by the way. Don't be too alarmed about that. Because, as you know, I've been focusing more on gold, but I did see an opportunity. And when you see an opportunity, sometimes it's a good time to buy if you have the resources to do so. And so you could see that the most breakdown of the most recent low could open up a massive selling signal with the market looking towards the $20 levels, what some say could happen here. And so it could go either way. We could see it sell off even more. There's some that predict that we'll see below $20 an ounce. Some very good analysis that may suggest that. Even though I'm sticking to my guns, although now, looking at the sentiment now compared to the beginning of the year, is much different. Much, much different. But I still think there's some room. There's a path to $30 silver. Don't know. It's becoming much more narrow now, but that's my prediction that I made earlier in the year. I am shying away from the 35 range because I said anywhere between 30 and 35. But if we look at the bullish side, if silver was to break above the 50-day exponential moving average, then it's very likely that we could go back towards the $25 level. And of course, the 200-day EMA between here and there. Some of those could offer a certain amount of resistance, so it is likely that we would see selling pressure there. If we were to break through both of those levels, then it would likely that we would see silver rally for a longer term move. And it's a belief that there's a lot more choppy behavior ahead, and I do agree with that. And what's going to drive that? It's going to be the U.S. dollar index. It's going to be foundational there because it does have a major negative correlation to this market. And that is something that we always pay attention to. But regardless, silver has been being pulled, especially pulled, in other words, downward by the lack of demand on the industrial side. But when you think about the selling and buying of silver, it's mostly done in electronic form. Exchange traded products out there that you see for silver makes them very easy to liquidate and buy. So that's what we're talking about with selling pressure. If we stack the physical, we're less likely to take a loss and sell at a moment's notice just because the price takes a turn one way or the other. When people buy ETFs, they are essentially making these purchases to kind of hedge themselves against other investments, vehicles within their portfolio. So that's why when we talk about adding silver to your portfolio, well, it's essentially like a file folder that has all of your investments in it. And it's really a figure of speech because most of that stuff is done online anyway. And so, but hey, we do reference file folders still in the digital world, especially when you look at Windows File Explorer. Everything is arranged in folders. But we do not put physical silver in folders. No, we do not. So we are not diversifying our portfolio in the physical form when we add one of these to our stack. No, indeed. We put them in monster boxes. How's that? We put them in capsules for protection. We put them in safes. We put them in boxes. There is no portfolio in the physical world. And I think that's the beautiful thing about it. When we stack and when we hedge the physical metals, well, it is indeed something we should celebrate because it is outside of all of those systems. They survive. Now, obviously, price does have an effect. If you have to go to sell these things, well, in a normal market, you would get a little less than spot for it, probably 2-3% less than spot. But in today's market, you're getting spot and a little bit more depending on the coins that you sell. If you're in the United States of America, you may get a few bucks over for an eagle because they're commanding quite a high premium right now. But regardless, these metals, we buy them in the physical form, and we understand the paper markets as well. And that's kind of the primary driver of the prices that we see for silver. That's the foundation. And so we're always aware of it. I know this channel keeps up and keeps tabs with the spot price to see what the movements are. The markets are interesting, but I use the opportunity to talk about the markets to also educate folks about the physical. I believe in holding physical. At the same time, I do not condemn holding the electronic form of silver because it is a way to hedge, especially if you are in the stock market. There are ways to certainly diversify in those areas, but I believe that everybody who holds the electronic version of silver, whether it be SLV, PSLV, or any futures or options in silver, well, I would encourage you to have some physical as a hedge of last resort. And really that is the bottom line in the world of finance. The hedge of last resort is physical silver and, of course, gold as well. But in this case, we're talking this white metal, which has served us, it served humanity, and served through and survived empires. It has survived cultures, epochs, generations for millennia. And it's really only in recent history where silver has stopped being utilized as a currency. And really what has solidified that separation from being used as a physical currency is the digitization of everything. Everything is going to the cloud. Everything has become web-based, the Internet of Things, the ease of transactions over a network, whether a local area or a wide area network, encrypted or not encrypted, cryptocurrencies, taking root and taking hold. Silver in the physical form is becoming even much more further removed from our daily lives in terms of transactions. And that does not mean they can't be, and especially utilizing some of the technology with Ethereum notes. You've heard me talk about those in the past. And with the gold back, there are also silver versions as well, but silver notes that are essentially commemorative sheets that are collectible, but not even really considered bullion because of the very, very high premiums attached to them. But regardless, silver is a metal that is right now not looking for direction in and of itself, but the silver market is looking for direction. But one thing is for sure, you and I that hold these metals, especially in the physical form, we need no direction. The only direction, the only thing that we rely on is the fundamentals. And what are those fundamentals? That's silver. It's a wealth preservation tool, and it is something that we continue to accumulate, especially when we start to see dips in the physical or in this physical spot price. With lower premiums, we can add to our stack and our accumulation of silver. And in doing so, we will certainly preserve our wealth if we buy it in an intelligent way. Intelligent dollar cost averaging is what I really call it. I call it smart dollar cost averaging anyway. That's SDCA or IDCA. If you want to hashtag those terms, hey, we could start a new trend: smart dollar cost averaging or intelligent dollar cost averaging. And that is to buy more when the price is low and still continue to buy if the price goes up, but much less. And if the case, and in the case of an incredibly quick spiking up of silver prices, a huge increase in a particular day or a couple of days, maybe it's wise not to buy any. Oh, I shudder the thought, right? But there's plenty of reasons why it's a good idea not to buy silver, even outside of all those economic factors, or the factors that drive the market anyway. There are other personal economic factors why you shouldn't buy silver at any given period of time. But regardless, as part of our normal strategy, and as long as you have the financial wherewithal, I think it's a good idea to not only diversify in the electronic space in terms of your investments by hedging within those investment vehicles, but also to take the vehicle of the physical. Yes, indeed. Physical silver. Physical. Let's get physical. I want to hear your silver talk. Yes, indeed. Even if it doesn't have any nipples. All right, there you go. All right. So there you have it. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe. Can you put a price on peace?